This week, the Motorhead crew discovers a unique way to fight the Battle of the Brine and survive wintertime. Next on Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat.
You are locked on to Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat. And you might have noticed my partner, John Gardner, well, he's not here. He's actually on the road. So let's go check in with him now.
Now we're here with Joe from NHOU Protective Coatings. And Joe, you guys are proactive when it comes to that nasty four-letter word in the automotive industry. And you don't have to beep it out. We're talking about rust, man. This stuff's nasty. Tell us about how'd you get in this business?
So proactive. What we're really dedicated to doing is educating people and trying to get them proactive. The challenge for us is more cultural than it is technological. Go in and change your oil and change your oil in your undercarriage same way you would your motor. So getting people to think proactively is the biggest challenge for us.
Now cars, they've changed. I mean, you know, we saw rust years ago on these older cars. Kind of went away for a little while, but it's coming back. Tell us why. Just like oil changes in service, I want to take care of the rust and the undercoating as well.
Right. So, you know, right now the challenge is vehicles, they're going to go 250, 300,000 miles with the engine if you just do regular maintenance. And so what's killing people, at least from the top half of the country up where they're using road brine, is rust.
Well, this road brine, this is a sticky situation, especially up here in the Rust Belt. I mean, talk about that a little bit.
So road brine is something that the towns are using now that they definitely make the roads safer. It's very cost effective, but it comes at a cost. And the cost is corrosion to your vehicle. What they do is they've been very good at liquefying the sodium, and now they add things such as beet juice, magnesium, and things that help it work at lower temperatures. They get a toxic mix, it works great, makes the road safe, then it washes off. So they now add sticky additives, corn syrup, molasses, so that it sticks to the road. You drive over it, doesn't discriminate, sticks to your vehicle. Many car washes are recycling their water. They do not get the sodium out. You go into the car wash, he's pushing it back up into the body cavities. That's really going to be the catalyst for the industry being revived.
Now, you had an older truck and then you got a new truck. You got a product for both. Tell me about the older truck and what did you do to prevent rust with that?
So the old truck, you can use oil on a brand new vehicle or a used vehicle, but if you've got pre-existing rust, the only way to work is with an oil-based product, because that will actually penetrate through the rust down to the good metal, displace moisture, and remove oxygen. Take any of those out of the equation and you don't have oxidation. The oil also now creates a barrier against anything else coming at it, such as the road brine, okay? That oil will also work for you. So when you spray that oil, it'll creep 4 to 6 inches up the rocker panels, the door panels. You spray the cross members of a pickup truck bed, they're notorious for rotting out. For one, they're prone to hold moisture, dirt, and dust. They're unfinished surfaces. The oil will go in there and creep and migrate into the spot wells, the seams, and give you, it'll stop oxidation and give you a barrier against anything, any element that may come at it, such as moisture and road brine and salt.
Now, that's on an older truck. Let's talk about the new truck. You got a new truck. I wouldn't think about undercoating it. The manufacturers are doing a good job, but that's really not the case. Tell me about the new truck.
Yep, so really you want to protect any vehicle. Now, oil is going to be the most forgiving approach towards pre-existing rust. We have a second option. If you have a brand new truck, we have a wax oil. Wax would look like what you'd consider your conventional undercoating. It's black, sprayed on everything that's exposed, everything that we can see, so we get 100% coverage. We use oil inside the body cavities, which is really the critical part of this whole equation. The wax is not a brittle product like the old, hard asphalt. It is soft. But what the key to all this whole, procedure is, no matter what approach you take, is that you be proactive and that you come in every 2 years on the wax and let us watch the vehicle, babysit it, make sure if there's a breach in that surface that it's addressed before it becomes a big problem. So it's really a maintenance program.
Joe, you use the product, you developed the product, but what if I want to get it sprayed on? Do you have some dealers that'll do that?
Yep, so not only do we work with our chemist and our corrosion engineer, we are on top of the problem. We use the product. We have about 3,000 vehicles that pass through our shop each year, so we know firsthand how the product performs. We look for technological advances. We also put a lot of emphasis on factory trained. So an above average product is completely worthless if you get a below average application. If you look on our website, you're going to find factory trained applicators that come into our facility, and we go over with them how to use the right equipment and apply the product properly. And that really is the most important part of the whole equation.
Well, Joe, I mean, we sure appreciate you having us out here in New Hampshire. You got an awesome facility. It looks great. You're doing a great service to $23 billion worth of rust out there. We can slow it down. But you know, stay with us. We're going to be back with plenty more Motorhead Garage right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, is brought to you by No Limit Engineering. We build them, we test them, and we drive them. One-Off Muscle Cars. You dream it, we build it. Cam Auto Pro, paintless dent repair tools. Rhino Hitch, the most versatile adjustable hitch on the market. And by Top Coat, the best coatings in the world.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat. Wouldn't you know it, as soon as there's a little bit of work to be done around here, there's no one here to help me, no one to be found. That's because John is out on the road taking a little field trip.
Well, we're back at NHOU Protective Coatings, and I'm here with Joe. Joe, we're in your corporate headquarters here, man. It's impressive. Give us a brief overview of what you guys do.
Mainly what we do is cultural. We try to get you to think proactive, and what we're here to do is and educate you, and as you understand the problem, then what we're going to do is empower you through products and services to be proactive and extend the life of your vehicle.
Now, NHOU Protective Coatings, the key word coatings with an S. You've got a lot of product. It's a whole product line.
Right.
Take us through it.
So we started out with oil, and then we went into a wax. So the oil is the most forgiving way to treat rust. It is very different than conventional undercoating. As opposed to trapping moisture in oxygen, it actually goes down to the base metal, displace moisture, cut off the oxygen. We have a wax, more traditional for a brand new vehicle. We also created a salt brine solution because brine seems to be really the culprit behind reviving this industry. The road brine is very good for the roads, it's safe, but it's corroding vehicles. So we have a way to actually break down the substance, the sticky substance, and the salt that's in the road brine.
Now, applying this stuff, can I do it, or do I need to take it to an approved dealer, or both?
So we have do-it-yourself kits, but honestly, even if we sell the best product in the world, and I believe we do, it is worthless if you have a poor application. If you don't have the right equipment, you don't have the right training. That's why most of our dealers come out here, they're factory trained right at our shop. And we have do-it-yourself kits, and we have videos that show you how to apply it properly. We also hold public workshops.
Now, I'm a big proponent when it comes to education, and you know, you're the owner of the company and everything. This is what you do. You bring people out here, you educate on rust, but you also educate on how to apply it. Take us through some of these steps. What do we have, an application here?
So on our road brine, you can simply, if you have one of these, you can use your own if you want. You purchase it from us. Basically, you fill this with the solution, run it through a hose, you wash down the undercarriage of a vehicle, let it set 15 minutes, rinse it off, boom, done.
Awesome. Now, I got an older vehicle. I was looking on your website, back to black. Tell me a little bit about that.
So that's again, working directly with the consumer. We would listen to the feedback, and they said, wow, you just did a good job protecting my vehicle, but it looks like shiny rust. What can you do to improve the appearance? So we added a carbon black into our oil, same exact oil as the clear, but it'll substantially improve the appearance of that vehicle while protecting it.
I'm an automotive technician. I change the oil. I do that on purpose. Transmission, differential fluid. This is just something that normally has to be done. I don't think people think that way about undercoating. It does need to be that way.
It does. And again, this is the biggest challenge for us is cultural. Right, so we're trying to get you to think proactively. You go in and you rotate your tires, you change your oil. You need to be proactive with the undercarriage, and technological challenges are secondary to that cultural challenge.
So I want to bring it in every once in a while and get it sprayed, just like I would maintain a vehicle.
It's an annual application, yep. If you go with the wax, that's every 2 years. The wax is a one-time standalone application. The oil in the body cavities needs to be replaced every 2 years, but we also want to bring that vehicle in and we want to inspect it. We have someone here today, we may be putting their vehicle up. We inspect it, any breaches in the surface, we touch up, nothing gets out of control.
There's plenty more. Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat. I am Dave Dobson, and I'm here all by my lonesome in the studio because my partner John Gardner is out on the road.
All right, we're back at NHOU Protective Coatings, and we're talking with Joe now. Joe, you've become the mad scientist, but the neat part is, me and you, we didn't get some MIT graduate certificate, but you've learned on your own. You make sure this product is the best on the market.
Actually, we have a goal, internal goal, and I'm going to tell anyone, be proactive. If you could find a better product, use it. If you find a different technique, try it. We want to get people to think proactively, but our internal goal is to have the best product on the market, and that's why we invested in this cabinet. It's a $15,000 American standardized B117 testing cabinet. It was a big investment for us. It's about a $15,000 cabinet, but everything that we do in there, the procedures and the equipment, from the water and the salt solution, the percentage is all standardized. We have to follow it. And we use our competitors in here all the time. And we are running a test right now. And we see how many hours we can outperform the leading competitor. And our goal is, and always at the top of my wish list with my chemist is, performance upgrade, performance upgrade. We intend on having the best product on the market.
Now you say with your chemist, I mean, you actually been to their facility as well, and you're trying to match exactly what they're doing and doing actually a second check on the product right here.
Yeah, so what we do is we have a quality control. We have a fantastic toll manufacturer who has a superb record of being nothing but a quality industry standard and toll manufacturing. But we have a viscometer. We've synced the two viscometers so that when his product is done, he's checked it. I recheck the surface tension. We can check the grind, the dispersion. I can do a stability check. I can do a sag, make sure that it's the right viscosity and it's not going to drip on the product, and then ultimately a performance test. And this is all in an effort to just keep the quality control there. And then we spray the product. So we have about 3,000 vehicles going through our shop each year, and we don't just produce this product, but we actually use this product.
Now tell me what's going on inside of that cabinet in layman's terms. I mean, you're actually applying salt. I know it's not the perfect situation. Everything's a little bit different, but this is what's happening in the real world.
So that is what that does is simulates accelerated use. We actually have a product in there right now that has less than 20 hours and there's more than 5% corrosion on it. I'm not going to make public any of the competitors, but it's sad when people buy that product and pay good money and they think they're getting protection, they're not. This cabinet will produce salt fog at a certain temperature, the controlled temperature, and a controlled volume. And what we do is, in most cases, let this run for almost 2 months and see how many hours before you actually get more than 5% corrosion.
Joe, I mean, education's the key, and you guys do that here as well. Now, I went and I got some bed liner, I coated it, I thought I was stopping the rust. That's not the case.
No, you cannot cover over rust and trap moisture and oxygen below the surface. Here's an example of somebody who did that. The only thing you do is make the surface look pretty for a while, but the product is not stopping it from oxidizing. And that's what oil does differently. It actually penetrates through the rust down to the good metal, displaces moisture, removes oxygen, and you stop oxidation as long as you take either of those out of the equation.
Now, this quality control here, it extends to out in the field. I was talking to your son, it's a family business, Joey. He was talking about, you guys shoot it here, you use it here, so your outside vendors run into a problem. It's probably nothing new that you haven't seen.
By the time that the product actually gets to our dealers, it's been in our shop for almost a year, and some selected dealers. What's really critical here, and everyone has to understand, is an above average product is completely worthless if you don't get a good application. So a below average application renders that good product useless. So we factory train everybody. We have the largest selection of rust proofing equipment in the country, and we have everyone come in here and go through a whole training program so that you get the best product applied properly and result.
There's plenty more. Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, is brought to you by Maximum Altitude, the #1 source for all your off-road parts and truck accessories. Wild Horses 4x4, isn't it time you answered the call of the wild? Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Clamp Tight, the clamp making tool. And by Misguided Fabrication, tough and durable bumpers and side steps.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat. You know, my partner John Gardner is pretty useful around the shop, but occasionally we like to let him out of here and take a little field trip.
Well, we're back in New Hampshire at NHOU Protective Coatings, and I'll tell you, I've been with you for a while. You're not going to throw this, here you go, here's your stuff, put it on. It doesn't work that way. You're going to stand behind this product, and that all revolves around these dealers, this network of dealers.
I cannot emphasize enough how important, how critical it is for you to have a good product and the proper application. Part of the proper application is going to be the equipment. All our guys come in here, we don't have $10, $20 Chinese guns. We have mostly Canadian, American, Italian made equipment that is professional equipment designed for the application and engineered just like the product for the application. They're trained by us how to hit all the spots. In fact, what we do is we have a group, a private online group where we're able to communicate. So if we try something that works, we can share it with the group. If we try something that doesn't, in reverse, we can tell them avoid that. We also have guys that specialize, let's say, in Jeeps, and they say, hey, you know, if you bring a Jeep into your shop and it's this year, here's a critical area you need to get, and here's how you access it. So there's an awful lot that goes into training, including we give them webinars, we do online training for annual reinforcement of the training. We also hold public workshops. We have a vested interest in anybody using the product to apply it properly. But again, separating the, Joe Weekend Warrior who buys any product off the shelf, our guys have invested a lot of time. Some of them come in multiple times to train and retrain. Go to a factory train applicator.
Absolutely, and we actually have one here which is using an innovative idea, opening up his own business, living the American dream. Let's check him out. Todd with Mass Mobile Undercoating, how did you get involved with NHOU?
Well, I used the product personally for a number of years. Did some research online, decided to fill a niche for a mobile unit, something that can come on site to the customer's location, whether it be a shop, a yard for landscapers, excavators, and I also do municipalities.
Tell me about the whole system when you get there, man. I mean, this is innovative.
Yeah, so I pull up on site, wherever it may be. I need about 50 feet to park as a workspace. Vehicle goes up, set it up on the ramp, secure the vehicle, fire up the compressor. Again, fully self-contained, don't need to plug into anything, any of their equipment. Get the compressor going, and then I start my prep. Prep work includes going through the vehicle with compressed air, get rid of some dirt, debris, any of the old coatings, and just make it clean. Then we move on to the coating. I got a full commercial setup. Just like you'd have in any station, any shop, I'm using the same equipment. So we just go ahead and start spraying. Same process as the shops, same product. Inner cavities, all the pinch welds, the seams, etc. Rockers, cab corners, doors, all those factory cavities.
Tell me how effective the training is for what you're doing.
The training's been great. I've been up here a few times, learning about the product, applying it myself. Joe and his staff have been easy to reach, answer any questions I've had. They've been great, very supportive.
Well, what's your website?
It's mobileundercoating.com.
Time now for Top Coat's tips and techniques.
You know, microfibers is a really important subject to talk about when it comes to coatings, and not all microfibers are created equally. As an example, everyone has gone and bought the variety pack and, the cheap microfiber towels, and I got a deal, and you get back and you end up scuffing your car or scratching something, right? But at the end of the day, it's a very, very powerful tool when it comes to actual buffing and working with coatings, right, Mike?
Oh, that's right. And you need a quality towel, you know, and we have so many different colors, and a lot of people, you know, worry if black, you can see what you're pulling off the surface, and you can. Black is one of the favorite towels. The white towels are best. It's the pro level towel. It's probably the best towel on the market, especially for our type products.
And what's really unique about this towel in particular, all of our towels for that matter, we design these with a really tight microfiber mesh, and they're a really incredible high quality towel. One thing in particular, especially like with the white one, all of our towels we ensure, one thing you always want to look for in a quality towel is a really nice embroidered border. That keeps the strength of it, that keeps the size, it keeps it from shrinking and so forth. So that's always one real good quality characteristic you want to look for in a towel, you know?
Yeah, and these are so easy to take care of because once you're through with them, you can throw them in the washer by themselves, wash them, reuse them again. Just make sure when you put them in the dryer to do low heat, and also use like a dryer sheet to prevent static, because a lot of times static will build up, but a dryer sheet will prevent that.
And it's funny too, because we get calls sometimes where, you know, people are having a static issue when it comes to their towels. That's the quickest way to take care of that is a dryer sheet, obviously. So one thing you got to remember when you're looking for a high quality towel is you want a really nice, tight, high fiber count, a nice embroidered edge to it, and make sure it's color fast. To learn more, you can always go to our website at topcoat.tv.
Measure and ride height can tell you a lot about your vehicle suspension system. As a matter of fact, an alignment shop won't even perform an alignment unless it's correct. And you can take a look at this graphic. You can do it right out in the driveway. You can see there's some points there from the front to the ground. You can go in the fender well or to the rocker panel all the way down, even to the rear. Pretty easy to do. It's a do-it-yourself job. Now, there's also manufacturer specs for it. Our Malibu here, if you go to the second graphic, you can see on that one right there, we got some dimensions A, B, J, K, all the way down. You may have to go and check your suspension at different points to actually get it accurate. But we can get it pretty close with just a couple driveway checks. I got a tape measure right here. I'm gonna come to the front wheel here. I'm gonna go to the fender well of the front wheel, and then we can look at it right about there to the ground. Almost about 27 inches right there, close enough. Just go to the other side, you can tell. You can also do that on the rocker panel and work your way down from one side to the other. Now, if you have a ride height problem, you're gonna have either coil springs, leaf springs, air springs, or torsion bars. That's what controls ride height. Now, you can go and get those corrected, get them fixed, and your car is gonna be rolling smooth. Simple, easy checks. Keep you on the road.
We are out of time here on Motorhead Garage, and we hope you join us next week. In the meantime, if you know of a product you want to see on our show, be sure to email Jeff at masterstv.com. And until next week, we will see you once again on Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat.